burger bowl, and more. Yours free. But wait, order right now and get twice the perfect bacon bowl free.
That's a bacon bowl.
Separate processing and handling. That's 4 perfect bacon bowls.
You can make bacon bowls in the microwave.
$10.
To order perfect bacon bowl for $10 plus processing and handling, call
It's only $10.
1-800-826-9951 or order online at orderperfectbacon.com. That number again is.
What's up, YouTube? This is Chris Albert. I'm freezing my ass off in Connecticut right now. Hope all of you are well. I'm going to sit up, trying to maintain perfect posture while I'm talking to you wonderful people. Holy shit. Oh, that's The Godfather Part 2 playing. Be watching that all night long. Got a question from a guy named Ruben. Said, I've been lifting weights for 2 years now, and I've had great progress. I started out at 160 pounds, 13% body fat. Now I'm at 220 pounds with almost 20% body fat. My lifts, the squat is 360 pounds, the deadlift is 440 pounds, and my bench press is 280 pounds. So now I'm having a hard time gaining more weight as well as going heavier. No matter how I eat and train, I've mixed up my workouts, gone really heavy with low volume, and the other way around. I also adjusted my caloric intake the whole time, and now I eat about 4,300 calories. All good food: chicken, fish, steak, eggs, oats, etc. So my question is, what do I need to change to keep gaining weight and increasing the weight of my lifts? My goal was to bulk until 2014 and then diet down again. So I want to gain as much as possible until then. So Ruben, this is the thing. I'm going to say this flat out, right off the bat. You're fat and weak, right? 220 pounds, 20% body fat. It's pretty fat. 20% is pretty fat for a guy. For a girl, that's pretty good. But for a guy, 20% too fat. If you're over 15% body fat, if you're trying to bulk and you go over 15% body fat, you probably want to diet down a little bit. And the reason is because I'm assuming your goal, your end goal, is not to be as heavy as possible. Your goal is to put on muscle. So when we think about this in terms of building muscle, we want to think about what builds muscle. Well, what does build muscle? Does being heavier build muscle? No. Will that allow you to lift heavier weights? Yes, but artificially, and I'll get to that. Here's the thing. If you are over 15% body fat, you're probably restricting blood flow to your muscle cells. So when you're thinking about, oh, I want to bulk up past to be even heavier, and I'm at 20% body fat, what you're really doing is starving out your muscle cells by reducing the amount of blood flow to the cells. You are basically taking the very fuel, the very thing that will help to increase your cell volume in your muscles and reducing it. Blood carries nutrients to the muscles, and those nutrients provide the means for expansion, for cell expansion, right? That's why you get a pump, right? That's why we train for a pump as bodybuilders, right? That's what helps cellular expansion. Now, my advice would be, on that front, that you need to get leaner, right? So 4,300 calories is probably a little bit too much for a 220 pounder, right? If you're 300 pounds, then yeah, maybe. And if you're 300 pounds of muscle and not 50% body fat. But 220 pounds, you probably want to be eating more in the 3,000 to 3,200 calorie range. And I didn't do the calculation or anything like that. You can figure that out at home. But yeah, you probably want to be eating around 3,000, maybe even 2,800 calories would do you better, because that would put you into, a slight caloric surplus. You don't need to overfeed. We don't need to stuff our faces. Even if it's good food, even if you're eating all chicken and fish, it's still going to make you fat if you eat 4,300 calories worth. And it'll probably clog up your digestive system. If you're eating that much food, I'm probably thinking that your digestive system is a little bit clogged. You probably have a good bit of plaque buildup on the inside of your small and large intestine, and your nutrient absorption rate is probably not great. In addition to that, your insulin sensitivity probably isn't that great, and you probably could benefit by reducing the amount of insulin spikes in your daily diet. Again, I don't know your specifics, so I'm not going to give you specific diet advice, but that's what I would say is, number one, you need to focus on leaning up. And any of you out there who are over 15% or thinking about bulking up to be heavier, you need to get that fucking idea out of your head. Fat is fat. You're not bulking, you're fat. Okay? 2, you're weak. 220 pounds, 360 pound squat, that's not strong. You know, I've been 180 pounds and I've squatted 400 plus pounds. I've been 180 something pounds and squatted over 450 pounds. And I'm not a strong person by any means. I'm just giving you my numbers. There's people out there who are much stronger than that. And I'm not saying that you need to be the strongest, but you need to be stronger than what you are. And that suggests to me that you are not necessarily building muscle mass. You are just getting heavier and fatter from eating an influx of calories. So in your training, what I would focus on is continuing to try to attack these lifts, to maybe change up your training routine a little bit, maybe read some of the things about conjugating movements and using assistance exercises to try and bring up your weak points. Figure out where your weak points are on these lifts and then try to bring those up. Now, little side note, if you were trying to go for a 1 rep max all the time and you're continuously trying to bring up your lifts, you're not necessarily training for a muscle hypertrophy. You want to work within the 8 to 12 rep range at about 70% of your 1 rep max. Of course, the stronger you are, the greater the loads you can handle, the more muscle fibers you're going to activate. That was my girlfriend. She just texted me. And then you will gain more muscle by activating more muscle fibers, hitting more muscle fibers, and things like that. So there you have it, man. And I hate to break it to you, and I hate to say it in such blunt terms, but you are fat and you are weak. You need to get stronger and you need to get leaner. If you guys got any more questions for me, you hit me up at gettingtoshredded.com, at gettingtoshredded@gmail.com. That's the number. That's not the number. That's TO. You can ask me questions here on the channel. You can hit me up on Instagram. I want to talk about being fat. I fucking just ate a whole shitload of my mom's Christmas cookies full of gluten and sugar and all the bad stuff for me. My intestines probably going to rot out right now. But I'm going to go train hard tomorrow. Still on the walk for one more night. Flying back to California tomorrow. And I've got The Godfather Part 2 to keep me company tonight. Yeah, and that's a vaporizer. I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. Used to drink too. Yeah. Not anymore. Too old for that shit. I'll talk to you guys later.